So, it's that time of year again, and we're going to talk about the Leominster Athletic Hall of Fame. It's the fifth year, gentlemen.
Fifth class.
And got some, good individuals, some good teams, and it's going to be happening next weekend on October 1st. Now, I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the calendar. Is that on Saturday night, October 1st?
At the Elks.
And the fifth induction.
Leominster, yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about, the history. And we're with Frank Steffanides and Bob Healy. I forgot to introduce everybody, but that's typical of a semi-retired.
Yeah.
Just literally got off the boat yesterday because I was deep sea fishing. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the history, and then segue into what's happening this year.
Well, it goes back to, we started in January 2014. We got together, put a committee together. Talked to Bob, we talked to a bunch of people. We put a good committee together. In fact, I think it's one of the strongest committees I've ever seen in my life. The guys and ladies all do a great job in putting stuff together. And we continued the first year. We kind of did stuff on our own, but since then, a lot of nominations keep coming in. Mm-hmm. Our list now is phenomenal. Bobby Savatelli collects the list now. We got about 30 people waiting.
We got to look.
Really?
So
who do they have, like a form in the program?
There's a form on the website. There's a nomination form. You fill it out. You submit it to Bob, and then he brings it up to the committee, and we discuss all the candidates, and we try to go with the best and the oldest ones. Try to get the older ones in first if we can do that, and that's worked pretty well. We go back to the 50s, and we've been into the 90s too sometimes, depending on what it is. We have usually we have 10 to 14 individuals and 1 to 2 teams. Most of the teams came in early with state championship teams. There's still one more pending, which will come in a couple of years. Is one of the baseball teams won a state championship a few years ago. But it's a 10-year hiatus between your graduation and your time you can get eligible to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. For coaches, it's 5 years.
Yeah.
So it all came in part because we were all, a bunch of us, Frank, myself, Gil Tremblay, and Dom Ciccolini, and others, we were all attending the football Hall of Fame night that they had, because they went off their own earlier than us. And we're all sitting there going, what about the other sports? There's all kinds of sports that athletes are going through here. And that's how it all came about. Then we started looking at getting some people, big like Emil Johnson and Pete Michaels on the committee, and Lynn Denning, and we got a bunch of people to start. And then we just tried to look at some names. Anybody that was a state champion was first. And looked at that, and then like Frank said, some of the older people in the first class,
I get a question. I know with Football Hall of Fame, they induct contributors. Do you have a spot for contributors?
We've had contributors. We had a contributor the first year.
First 3 years we had contributors. The first 3 years we had contributors.
Yes, we had Jack McLaughlin was a contributor one year for what he did in baseball.
The guy that ran tag.
And the guy that ran tag, Kuzivar, I think his name was.
And we had Don Francioso was the last one a couple of years ago for tennis.
So you're still looking into contributors? If we
can find, we have to find those. They're not out there open. People say, well, so-and-so did this for this. And we look at what they did, and we try to put them in.
Because I can remember going to high school. It was always they don't give any attention to the band or anything like that. And you look back and the high school band, what great supporters they were. The basketball games, the football games. And I just I'm throwing something out there. Brainstorm came across me. Too much time on the boat yesterday. Like this. Yeah. But anyway, want to mention some of the individuals this year?
As I said, you've got the booklet there. They were, we have 14 individuals. Jack Degnault.
Okay.
He went back to 1952. Athlete of the Year in Leominster, and great athlete. That's what they could do 4 sports back then. He did 4. Ralph Case was a state champion in swimming, which people may not know, but he's one. We putting it as a coach, Ronnie Maz, for all the basketball. He was in the districts every year for so many years, and came right up to the finals, several times. Actually, you get the list right there. You ought to just read them up there. The second page there.
We got a number of ladies in there. Shelley Brio,
Shelley
Debbie
Brio.
Levasseur. We try to mix it up so everything's covered: sports, genders, everything. To mix it up so it's fair to everyone in general, not just the one group.
Right, so we talked about Ralph Case,
Whitshaw.
Jack Dagnall, Frank Bovenzi. Everybody
Bovenzi.
knows the Bovenzi name from, what's going on downtown and the condos and everything.
He
but
was a hell of a track.
this is young Frank?
Young
or?
Frank.
Young
He was a
Frank, yeah.
trackman.
He was a hell of a kid too. We had him in school. He was a great
He
kid.
played soccer also.
Yes, he
He was a
did.
good
Yeah,
soccer
I got a
player.
soccer picture in
At
there
least
of him.
a two-sport
Two
athlete,
sports. Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Then my cousin Billy Devani. I remember,
He was track.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he
indoor
was
track.
fast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He was fast. Bob Gillis.
Bobby Gillis,
Okay.
basketball. Oh, yeah.
Some names
He
here.
had a touch and a half. He
Names in the
was
past.
a
Oh,
sweet
yeah.
shooter.
Yeah, Joseph Hines.
Joey Hines was a track man that a lot of people probably don't know him, but he was a big track man back when he was in high school.
Early 60s. He was 60, 61,
63.
62,
60,
63.
he graduated in 64.
Right in there. He was all in there.
And I'm looking at the next name, Shelley Bro Hines. Are they?
Shelley Brio.
Brio. Okay.
That's a married name is Hines.
Okay, so
now.
are they the two of them, the Joe Hines and her?
No, different spelling.
That's kind of,
The Hines is different spelling on both of
Shelley
them.
was a great little athlete herself too.
Oh yeah, Shelley was
Good ball
all
player,
sports.
good ball
Yeah,
player.
she was a great player.
Now, John Kelly.
He was a pitcher. He was
Baseball.
a pitcher from the 80,
Great pitcher.
88. He graduated in 88. He was a real good pitcher. He went into UConn, started
Then
there.
he was drafted.
He shot at the pros for a while.
Now, is this one of the Kellys?
No, his father's a cop in Fitchburg.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was a great pitcher. Probably one of the best who ever came out of Leominster.
Now, this is a name that threw me because I read Debbie.
Oh, Chooch.
Well, that was a name. You never knew her as Debbie.
Ever have I ever
always
heard her
Chooch.
name.
Yeah.
So I'm almost 67 years old, and that's the first time I've known her all my life. I didn't know her name. It was Chooch.
We get a lot of these female names. We also get through Chicky.
Yeah.
Ciccone and,
she was a great athlete.
and Lynn Denning.
Yeah.
They both, Lynn Keenan now, they both are a conduit to get some of these early female athletes.
Let's talk a little bit about Chooch.
Chooch, she was another all sports,
Yeah.
three sports in high school.
Yeah.
And great athlete. I remember her at Gallagher playing basketball down there. And she was a great athlete. And the character, yeah.
Nancy Perla.
Nancy Perla, another good one. She was a Leominster gal.
I can't
She
picture
graduated in '78, a couple of years after you.
So she was probably a freshman when.
Yeah,
Yeah, when we were
or a
in
sophomore,
there.
whatever way it was.
Now, Richard Powers. This is
Richie, this is the
Rich,
kid.
young
Richie.
Rich.
Young
deceased.
Richie.
He's deceased.
The one that passed away.
He's
Okay.
deceased, and he's from the Powers family.
He's probably
Yeah.
one of the more recent members of the,
Right.
that we got in.
So is he Richie Powers, the one that was my age, who was
Yes.
a
That's
his son.
basketball?
That's his
yes,
son.
that's his son.
Yeah.
He's a great golfer. Oh yeah, he
That's
was.
what I heard.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how good he was until I started reading his stats and stuff. It's unbelievable. He was the #1 golfer all 3 years in high school.
Donald Shaw.
Whitshaw.
Whitshaw,
He's
his name is. He was a
he's
pitcher. He
64.
graduated in '64.
All right.
He had a wicked curveball.
Don Whitshaw.
So did you know some of these older people personally?
I know Whit personally. I
Okay.
played ball with him after high school a little bit, and some of those we know of
Dom,
them.
Dom's the one that brought his
Yeah,
application.
yeah,
He
Don.
was
So
pushing.
that's why our committee's so diverse in what they know. It blends in really nice to get all these athletes in. Plus Chicky, who does the women's side very well, and so we got a little blend of things that bring everyone into a. We have to cover everybody. We've done swimming, we've done tennis, we've done everything.
Now, Chicky's, I believe, living in Florida.
She's in Florida.
Is she part of the committee at all? or
she is our
ad hoc.
she's one of our concierges, I guess.
Yeah,
She's a great resource.
She's
Yeah.
our resource. Let me tell you.
She's my aunt.
She'll be up probably.
She's coming up for.
She'll come up
She's
for it.
coming up.
I get to see her. She's my aunt.
Yeah.
Once in a while, I see her on the golf course. Once in a while, she comes up.
Yeah. Too bad, it's
She
getting
went
wet now
into
out there.
the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago.
And I don't know where the teams are listed.
Oh yeah, down the bottom of that page.
All right, so you've got two teams.
Two teams.
We've got the 1974 district finalist softball team.
That's all those
They
women.
were,
All
they were
those women
14
we had,
and
yeah.
1.
14-1, and you said they lost the last game.
They lost the last game to Southbridge, I think it was.
And how does Southbridge fare in terms
I don't know. I don't know if they went any further because I don't know if they did back then.
Women's sports back then weren't what they are today.
I don't think they went beyond districts. I'm not sure.
I don't know if they had state championships or whatever back then. I don't know if they're not listed as anything, so I don't know.
No,
back when I coached the 80s, that was more normal to what we have today.
I'm going to go way back.
Yeah.
Because my mother was instrumental with the Lassie League back in the,
Sure.
in the beginning. And they had an all-star game. And the only other team that had an all-star team was Southbridge.
Really?
And I can remember I was a little kid, and I used to go with my mother and father to watch, the games. My mother, I don't know if she coached, but she was maybe president of the league back then. And it was Southbridge. And Southbridge, at that point, was always way ahead of Leominster. But a year would go by, 2 years would go by, and Leominster just got better and better. More girls got involved with the league. And, you look back, a lot of these girls got their start with Lassie League.
Really did.
I don't know what they have today in terms of like feeder systems for.
In Lassie, Pittsburgh, Leominster has Lassie League. It's all fast pitch now.
Okay.
It was slow pitch back then.
Yeah.
It's town softball is kind of taking a back seat to travel ball at this time. It's still there.
Yeah.
But travel ball is taking over that part of the background for each team.
I go back and I can remember that the uniform was a pair of jeans and a white shirt, and the motto was "A lady, a sport." It was almost like when you watch that movie, what is it, A League of Their Own? But they didn't dress
Gina
like
Davis,
that with the short skirts. But they presented themselves as ladies. And, I mean, it was competitive in a way, but not like it is today.
Yeah.
And the girls today, if you put them up against those other ones, they win by 100 points. But anyway, our next team is the 1977-78 state finalist hockey team. So they won 2 years.
Yeah, they won 2 years in a row, as a matter of fact. We already put in the team that went the year after them. They went to the finals, too. And then this was the first team that Malcolm coached, Malcolm McPherson.
Okay.
He took over and coached this team, and they went to the Gardens, and for the old Boston Gardens.
Yeah, arguably this is supposed to be the best team they've ever had, but that's who you talk to. But
you're
all
talking
great
to the wrong guy
all
when
great
it comes
teams.
to hockey. We should have Ray Richards.
Oh, he's on that
He's on a committee. He's on a committee.
Yeah, he's bringing forth names and stuff.
It's great to see him now because his legs used to go like this, and now they're straight. He got both his knees replaced, and he's
That happens.
Yeah, you had it too.
Both, yeah.
How does it feel after?
Great.
Done?
20 years now.
Yeah. Unreal, huh? Anything else we need to address here?
We
we
left off the top name on there.
I did. Where is it?
On the top of the coach.
Well, why don't you just go? I don't want to look for it. I'll never find it.
They were putting in Ronnie Maz.
Okay, Ronnie Maz.
As a coach.
Yeah.
And because he had basketball for 20 years, 25 years, whatever.
His longevity and team number of games won were second to none.
And then he was in the district finals I don't know how many times, and he was named coach of the year several times, and he's quite a contributor. We could have been in as a contributor or as a coach, but we wanted to put him in as a coach.
And I knew Ronnie Maz personally back in the days of the playgrounds.
Oh yeah,
the summer
leagues.
Leagues.
The recreation, sure.
And he had a basketball program in the summer for the young kids.
So he's done that.
I don't know how many years it was, but so he had a good feeder system where he would develop players before they got to the high school.
Yeah.
So he already knew them. And again, I think we still have city leagues.
So, but I coached with Ronnie. I was assistant coach for a few years with him, and I learned more about coaching, work with him than anybody else. He allowed me to develop my coaching background.
Yeah.
He knew how to run a program. He was very good with teaching the game to everybody. So he was a great coach in my mind.
Yeah, he'll be there, I hope.
Oh, he'll be there.
Good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Good. Oh yeah, he's doing well.
Now,
I see him occasionally.
Are we looking for people to go to the event? Are we still looking to
oh sure.
We're trying to get the numbers for the meal. We need meal numbers to the caterer, and that's coming up early this coming week. I have to send them by Monday or Tuesday. They need them, and if you want to get a ticket, you got to get a hold of Rich Barnaby at Leominster High School, and he's our treasurer, and he's on a committee too, obviously, and he'll take care of them. So if they want to do that,
they're getting up to close to 200 so far.
Yeah. Really?
We give
Gonna be well attended, I
180, over 180 right now. We're probably about 200.
Yeah.
Our biggest crowd ever was almost 300 the first year we did it, and it's always been around between 150 and 170 the rest of the years.
Well, you got to look back in terms of like the last 3 years with this, this whole COVID thing through.
Well, that's we lost
threw
the
a
year.
wrench
We
into
We
the
lost
lost a
works.
year. We had to keep postponing, and the last one, we finally did it last October. And we ended up doing it at high school.
But everything's
Now we're back.
making a comeback.
Yeah,
And who
everything's
knows?
coming
Maybe
back.
by next year, knock on wood, you'll
Yeah.
have 400 people there.
Well, we have it. We spaced it apart about a year and a half in between inductions to give us plenty of time.
Just time to get organized.
Get the name, get the research, get the stats on people. And because some of the stats are pretty impressive. I want to get them all if we can.
Frank,
Yeah.
did you know he was a good actor?
Ronnie?
Yeah, no, right here. Bob Healy. I had the pleasure to have him yell at me in a scene from a film. You want to give him the line?
Mike,
I might put the clip in just to highlight it. You're through.
Remember Mike Fell, believe us?
Yeah.
He was his senior year at Evanston College. He was doing his senior project. He had to do a film. And he got me, he got Barry Lou, and he got, I got him some people from New Players Theatre Guild to get in it. Jack was in it, Carl was on the lighting crew there, and
But for years, him and I, like, we never would say, hi, how are you doing? He'd look at me and he'd go, you're through.
One thing I got to touch upon, too, he kind of went by, is we have a Hall of Fame at the high school out between the gym and the auditorium. The wall, we fill up one side of the wall already, one half of the wall going down to the right as you walk up through to the gym. We're now on the other side of the wall with our next class, the 5th class, going up over there. We just put a new banner up there, lighting's going up there. So if you're in the high school, going to a basketball game or a theater presentation, it's right there for everybody to look at. We've also one of the Football Hall of Fame people, we have plaques for them as well. So we cover everything. We're also looking into potentially a virtual setup in the future once we're in our wall space. So that's another thing
So
coming down the pike.
when you say virtual, what do you mean by that?
Be a kiosk.
Okay.
On a kiosk, you plug in, you can plug in what you want and get what you want out of that.
Technology.
Eventually, you're going to run out of space up there. We are redoing. I guess they're going to redo the other wall with all the display cases were from way back when the school was first built, I think. And those supposed to be all redone and updated. So we're going to see what's happened. But right now, we got plenty of room where we're going. Probably another 5 classes can go there. But after that, we're going to need space. So we're working on that as we speak. That's
after another 5 classes, we won't be around to see it.
Don't do the math. don't do the math.
I'm still young. I'm younger than you
Oh, yeah, okay.
by about 2 years.
All right.
So
you
it's
need to thank anyone?
It's good.
You need to thank.
Well, I think, I want you to read off the names of the committee members. I think it's on the first or second page.
Right here, the executive board.
Yeah,
the
oh,
board,
yeah,
okay?
yeah.
We've got Frank, Bob Healy, Richard Barnaby. Now, he's the
Baseball coach.
baseball coach.
Yeah, he's the treasurer.
Okay, treasurer is
No, he's the treasurer.
Jay,
right?
he's the
Jay
treasurer.
Gilson.
Yeah,
She's the clerk.
yeah,
She
Jay
was,
Gilson.
she was a class of 1980. She was an athlete, too.
Yeah.
Now, these people, do they volunteer to get involved?
That's
and then you have
We
elections
kind of
and-
recruit them. Bobby South walking by me at the first induction said, Bobby, I want to talk to you. He's on the committee now.
Yeah.
So kind of how we do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pete
Dave,
Mike.
Dave Palazzi, I can't place him.
He's athletic. Yeah.
Can't place him.
No one knows him. Who is he?
Who is that guy?
We all knew his father.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, he used to come in here a lot to visit us.
Who, Togo?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
We had
Good.
some, toward his later years, Huck Hannigan would come in and visit.
Oh, yeah.
Just come in off the street and spend a couple hours with us talking. And we would talk, Letty.
Oh,
Come
wow.
in, sitting down, have coffee, just off the street.
Sure.
They'd come in to talk to us before COVID,
Before COVID, yeah.
And we have the Leominster High School Athletic Director. That's David.
David
Okay.
Palazzi, yeah.
And let's mention you want to mention the directors?
Sure.
The rest of the committee, I don't know.
They make the committee go.
Okay. And they are,
No.
Dom Ciccolini,
okay,
Pete Michaels,
yeah.
Joe Quinn,
Joe Quinn,
uh,
Ray Richards,
Ray Richard, and Lynn Keenan.
Yeah,
And Lynn
Bob
Denny.
Savatelli.
Bob
Bob
Savatelli.
Savatelli. Oh, yeah,
Is
Rich
that
is him.
Sagoop?
No, that's his brother.
That's okay.
That's his brother.
That's, oh, yeah.
I saw Sagoop this morning at Dunkin' Donuts. talking about how good Leominster is this year.
They are good, apparently.
2 freshmen, he says. They're for
Got a
real.
freshman quarterback and a freshman wide receiver.
He says, they're for real, they're for real. So I'm going to go see my first game, hopefully Friday night.
Yeah, are they playing home Friday night?
I hope so.
I think they are.
I got to check with our sports director.
Okay.
See, I'm semi-retired now. I'm here very
Very
rarely.
well, not bad. Yeah.
Well, anyway,
So we're at the Elks, and we still have some tickets left, and we got a social hour at 5 o'clock, and then we got a meal at 6, catered by Il Forno. We could, and then our induction goes off at 7 o'clock, and we'll have all these people say a couple of words and receive their plaques.
Whatever you do, don't get Sal Ciccone inducted, because
No,
if he goes up there to say a
We've
few,
already had a
if he
couple.
goes
We've had
up
a
there
few.
to say a
We
few
have
words,
a few.
there's
We
going
had
to
a
be
few.
like,
20 minutes.
yeah.
We've had 3 of the longest ones.
Yeah.
We had Greg Pacusi a couple of years ago. We couldn't get him off. We couldn't get Tony Franciulli off.
Forever.
And Ray was long too. Ray Richards.
Ray Richards,
He went on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's one more thing we have to touch upon. I don't want to forget about it. Mr. Jim Gately donates scholarship money to us. Bobby Sav and I run the scholarship part of it, and we give out $4,000 or $5,000 scholarships to. One is to student athletes, and the two student athletes, male and female, and 2 to contributors to the sport they play in, great leadership, whatever. And that's that's a Blue Pride Award. The Legacy Award is a scholar athlete, and they get $5,000 apiece. They have to complete their first year of college, and then present their grades that they passed. And then at the second half semester, they get $5,000.
There's a picture in there. I don't know, third or fourth page of this past year's recipients with Frank and with Bob. And Jim Gately was what class was he? 1952?
Jim Gately?
Yeah, what class was he?
He was 58, I think.
58. It's in there.
He's in there.
And this is separate from inductees. This is
Yes,
like,
it's a separate. It's part of us, but it's separate from
Right.
as you said, from the inductees.
He gives
but
us the money to handle to give out the scholarships and.
That's what we did. He targeted just us to do it with, no one else, because he trusts that we'll do it. We're doing it correctly. We meet. Bob and I meet with the Leominster High people, and we come up with these 4 candidates every April.
we raised a few bucks for a little scholarship award for Joey Casey when he passed away, Don Creed and myself. And but again, COVID came and that kind of went down. So I'm glad you guys are reminding me about this, because there's still money in there, and I don't think they've done anything.
Well, did Donnie
passed
too?
away?
Yeah.
So it's almost like I got to find out who was handling the money, because Donnie was handling all that. So I'll have to make a phone call to the principal, and I don't even know who the new principal is.
They got a brand new one.
Josh
Romano.
I'm meeting him a week from today.
No, he must be a Fitchburg.
From Lunenburg.
Lunenburg Romano.
Yeah, well, his father used to had Romano's Market.
Really?
Yeah. What a great market that was.
Oh yeah, for years.
Let's not get into the athleticism there, because there's a lot of good Romano
yeah.
athletes on the other side of the river.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys.
Really
I
good.
wish we could have done this a little bit earlier so we have more time to talk about it, but we'll do what we can do
We're
to
good.
get
This
the
is
word
good.
out
We
there.
got most everything we wanted to get in.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we're done. You're through.
Yeah, through.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. And don't forget the Leominster
Leominster High School Athletic
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the full title.
Full title.
Thank you.
Moving on.
You.
And we're out.
We're out. We're out. Too much.
Wow. Not bad for not knowing what the hell I was.